Praise the Lord, everyone. Thank you for tuning in with Dr. Leisha, the preacher. Okay. um, I'm going to try to keep this message as narrow as the title suggests. It's really difficult to keep things so nice and tight without a bunch of notes. Back in the day, my teaching style was to have notes and pretty much a curriculum laid out, or at least an outline or something. You know what I mean? Some type of what do they call it, like the agenda or something like that. So I'm used to doing things in a very old school, what they call professional way. You know what I'm saying? So just being able to just turn on and put a title in there and go at it, it's different for me. So over the course of my life, over the course of my life, for the most part, I have approached life as though it is good and bad off the rip. So, for example, every time I enter a situation, a relationship, a job, whatever, just enter something new, immediately I'm looking for the good and the bad off the rip, period. And you may say, well, what's such a big deal about that? Most people do that, don't they? I'm going to say no. Most people hold you to their positive side only. They don't want you to talk about anything negative about them. Not one thing. You can only praise people, and that's it. You can only say they're beautiful, they're smart, they're good, you can only address that side of their life. And if you say anything about anything that's not quote unquote good in their life, then you're no longer a friend, you're a hater, you're jealous, all this stuff. Just because you have the ability to see the good and bad and not, scared to talk about anything. I ain't scared to talk about anything with anybody, whether good or bad about myself or them. So I can't control how people view me, enter my life, or, you know, I can't control how other people simply just want to ride on the positive side of life. I can't control that. And then, of course, you get people who just want to ride on the negative side of life only. And that's complicated too. You know, people who just ride on the bad side all the time. That can be very heavy and depressing almost. But that's why I require balance. I really do. And I can deal with both, especially, my ability to stay balanced with, you know. So even in my own life, I'm comfortable talking about my good and my bad. And sometimes when I'm in conversations with people and I begin to talk about my quote unquote bad side of life, um, people just want to immediately get defensive. Oh, no, 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 you need to be optimistic. Oh, no, 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 you need to start telling me what I need to do, how I need to change my words. And I'm like, well, I can't control that. So people just have to live their life the way they do, and that's fine. But for me personally, I was able to endure. Listen, endurance is the key word, what I'm about to say. A balanced perspective using both your left and right eye at the same time. as you walk through this earth, as you navigate yourself, use both your eyes when you look at situations. Even when you're looking at housing, you can go look for a house. Look for the good things about the house and the bad things. Because the bad things are going to let you know what you need to fix if you go forward. If I buy this house, I know I'm going to have to do some plumbing work and I know I'm going to have to do something to the roof. Other than that, the house is perfect. It just needs some plumbing work and a roof. So you may say, okay, the plumbing's going to cost about, you know, $2,000 and the roof may cost about $4,000. So you have to look at your budget. Are you able to pay that much, the asking price, based on these quote unquote negative things? It just depends on how much money you're working with, the asking price, things like that. It's not an automatic no. Just because a house need a little work, it doesn't mean it's an automatic no. It's something you got to consider way out. And it's based on things. It's not based on just how you feel. How we feel is important. Our feelings is a part of our intuition, coming from our gut, you know? So it's important that we acknowledge our feelings. However, gotta let the facts speak for themselves. The facts will always speak for themselves. So people don't like that about me. People don't like the fact that I need to talk about the bad stuff in life too. I need to address and fix negativity. I know two negatives can create a positive. So if I keep working on something that's considered bad, if I work on fixing it, I mean, in my own life, then I know it's going to come out good one day. It will. Some people say, well, God can't bless no mess. I mean, I know what they mean, but when I really listen to what they say, I'm like, that don't really make no sense. I mean, he can like save a whole soul, but then he can't fix no mess, bless no mess or whatever. What? I mean, I know what they're trying to say. Skating on the positive side of life only. When you skate on the positive side, you say stuff like that. That's not exactly true, but it makes some sense, sort of. But at the same time, just how true is that statement? You know what I mean? If God can't bless no mess, then how did I ever get saved? You know? So, I don't correct people when they say that stuff. I don't correct them. I know what they mean, you know. But I'm proof that Most High can bless mess. I was a horrible mess and still am in a way. I mean, I'm still growing. I'm still in the natural realm like everybody else. So messiness is being blessed every day. I'm still breathing, healthy, and eating and taking care of myself. I'm a lot more independent than I ever give myself credit, I think. I'm on this independent journey because I was so dependent in a marriage, so to speak. But he been gone 5 years and I ain't dead yet. So I'm a lot more independent than I ever had credit for. I'm a lot more independent than I've ever given myself credit for. Which makes me think, well, what the heck does it mean anyway to be Mr. Independent and Mrs. Independent? Independent of what? Independent of who? I don't ever want to be detached from Most High. I don't ever want to be independent of Most High, ever. So I don't know if I'll ever actually be independent, y'all. I'm sorry. Not that y'all care, but you know what I'm saying. I may never be independent because I am the bride of Christ. I'm married to Most High. There is no independence in that. He wants all of me all the time. He's very demanding. You think your husband is demanding and controlling and all that? Child, get with Most High. You will know what demanding, controlling, and all that really is. And you'll realize that your spouse, your partner, think they doing something. They think they in control. They think they rich. They think they balling. Without Most High, not much is going on. Not much. Nothing that really lasts. We into this forever thing. I'm into the forever thing. And with Most High, everything is always forever. Everything is always forever. And everything matters. And that's another thing I struggle with, a saying in this world. It don't matter. That don't matter. Well, based on what I read in the Bible, everything does. Everything matter. Everything works together for my good, whether bad, good or bad. Whether good or bad, it all works together for my good. So in my life, everything matters. Now, when I talk to people and they say, that don't matter, that don't matter, I just have to kind of like within myself rebuke that. Because in my world, according to the eternal deficit of mankind theory, y'all know my theory that I'm developing, everything matter. Everything's included. It kind of reminds me at the time of creation when Most High said, let us make man and let's do it in our image. Mm, all inclusive. And all inclusive, everything matter down to the atom. Not just the ADAM atom, but down to the ATOM atom. You know, to everything matters down to the last speck particle of dust. It took dust from the ground and mist to create, well, not create, but to make atom. So yes, everything do matter, y'all. Every lie matter, every truth matter, every good day, every bad day matter. Everything about you matter. Everything about me do matter. We matter. Everybody, everything matters. It will be taken into account. Maybe not around your family and friends, around my family and friends. But we come the most high when I'm sorry, I'm eating and talking. It's just yogurt, but guys, this yogurt is good. It's by Yo Plate. And it's called chocolate shavings, or it says, no, it says made with chocolate shavings. But I'm eating a raspberry yogurt with chocolate shavings, and it is so different. It's different. It's smooth and got those little chocolate chunks in it. So, you know, I'm learning to approach people the same way I've always done it, but maybe not let them know so much. You know what I mean? A lot of people cannot handle their dark side. They don't want to look at it, they don't want to deal with it, and they hope that you don't see it. Well, I can't afford to live in someone's darkness, secret darkness. I can't afford to. I got to know. I have the right to know. And I will always exercise my right to know. And the reason I became so adamant about the right to know, I guess because I've been excluded my whole life from information. People go out their way to not tell me stuff. whether good or bad. It don't even matter. So it made me more intuitive. I had to, I had an inquiring mind. And I went through a stage when I was growing up in like the 70s and 80s, more so the 80s, but no, I would say 70s, late 70s, where we had like newspapers everywhere and we had all kind of magazines and tabloids, and I mean the world was just flooded with information, good and bad. We were always just, you know, infiltrated with information. It couldn't spread wide or far enough. So and then I also grew up during a time where, you know, Inspector Gadget and Sherlock Holmes and, you know, just all these shows where you're supposed to find out stuff. You're not supposed to just sit around not knowing anything. Well, that's still with me. And then I happened to mess around and get a bachelor's degree basically in OSHA. And everybody know OSHA is all about the right to know. Your employers have the right to be safe and to know and understand their work environment. So I'm real adamant about this kind of stuff. So the people in my life that's always trying to, you know, hide their darkness and be sneaky and all that, it don't work. It doesn't work with me. I'm gonna find out even if I am not trying. I ain't even got to try. Deliberately sometimes try to just protect myself and shield myself from knowing certain things because I just don't want to deal with it. I know I'm going to be dealing with it by myself. Most people are not going to come to the table of honesty. The table of honesty usually has one plate and one set of utensils. It's a lonely table at times because I'm a social bunny. I like people. I like having fun. But Most High had to sit my little butt down and say, look, you are not going to have fun at all costs, girl. You're not going to just play this game of positivity in life and just skate through way having fun all the time, doing cartwheels and handstands your whole life. Girl, get the hell out of here with that. I ain't sending you here for that only. Girl, get on your job. And he know he sent me here to deal with dark shit from day one. I mean, I was just born under dark circumstances. I was conceived, rather, conceived and born under dark circumstances. Teenage parents. That's a dark circumstance. The way we have life set up in America. Now, if it was set up the way Most High have life set up, it wouldn't be that dark. But the way our world is set up, our system is set up, the way our world value and devalue people, being born by teenage parents is considered something dark, bad, evil, and all that. Avoid it and all this kind of stuff. Even though that tends to be the most fertile time of a woman's life when she's, in her teens and 20s. That's the most fertile time of your life, the most ripeness of your quote unquote fruit. We got to be fruitful and multiply, right? That's the prime time. But our government has hijacked our prime time, trying to control, our fruit, how we multiply, when we multiply. It's like a delay in the system. So everything that seemed wrong, is actually right. And the things that they tell us is right kind of is wrong in cases. See how they can manipulate us? See how we manipulate ourselves? Not even about them. It could be us too. So no matter the situation, circumstances, I'm going in with both eyes open, looking for the good and the bad. And I'm not going to let nobody deter me, trip me up. And when Most High assign me to something, He ain't going to let me turn away He not gonna let me back up. He gonna push me through it into the bitter end if it gotta be that way. So I might cry, I might stump my feet, I might even try to take myself out of here at times. But the assignments that he put me on, it be just that evil, that dark. It's like walking into a room, a dark room with no flashlight. Even though you know where all the furniture is, but the moment you enter, regardless to what you know, you still have to use a lot of faith. You may have left that room a certain way, but what if someone came in there and, moved something around? The lights are out, it's dark, you can't see, but you got to get through that room. You got to get in there and do what you got to do in that room and get out based on what you remember from within, based on feeling your way through, you know, whatever experience you got to go through. You have a goal, a mission to get in that room, do what you got to do, and get out. So sometimes our marriages are like that. Some marriages, Most High send us in, we do the job, and that job ends fast. Sometimes, a person can die and that assignment's over, so to speak. To me, nothing's really, really ever over, but we'll go there later. In some marriages, he say, I'm gonna put you in here. I know it's hell, and you will endure, but you get in there with that flashlight. I want you to find this, 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 this. And I want you to do this, 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 this. And you're gonna do it. And the world gonna say, oh, I wouldn't stay in no marriage that say this or do that, or I wouldn't be with nobody like her or him and blah blah blah. But what if Most High put you in there with that flashlight? And he said, you in there. It's my assignment to you. It's the job I'm giving you. This marriage is it. Whether on whether it's heaven or hell, good or bad, you in there. This is your assignment. Obey me by faith. Yeah, people gonna talk about you. They gonna dog you out. They'll try to steal from your marriage because they feel some kind of way. Because they feel some kind of way about your marriage. They will steal from it. They will do whatever they want. Help you escape. Help you escape. Why? It's nobody's business what Most High have you up to. Whatever He has you up to, it's nobody's business. And when your spouse is getting a spanking in the middle of your marriage, people ain't supposed to do nothing about it, but learn. They're supposed to learn from that, not try to rescue you. Who can be rescued from Most High? I don't want to be rescued from Most High. I don't. And sometimes He may pull us out before we're ready, before we feel ready. We feel so committed to the cause, or we're used to this assignment, and we don't want to let go or change because we know if this was hell, the next one, my goodness. You know what I mean? Because each assignment probably becomes a little bit more impactful. You have the experience, whether good or bad. We're not even talking about that. That's pretty much the same tree. Don't people realize the tree of knowledge of good and evil is the same tree? So good is just as evil as evil, and evil is just as good as good. It all matters. It all adds up for my best interest to make sure I end up eating and living from the tree of life, feasting from the tree of life, manifesting from the tree of life. I can climb the ladder of the tree of life. To me, another name for the tree of life, we call it Jesus. I think of it as Jacob's ladder. We climb up and down that ladder spiritually all the time. It's like a spiritual ladder that we're constantly going up and down spiritually. Now, that's just me being colorful with my words, guys. I'm not saying, that's like gold. It's just me expressing myself. Jacob's ladder, the tree of life. Jacob's well, where the water springs from. We have a ladder and a well, and we contributed to Jacob, but at the end of the day, I could just go ahead and call it a tree of life. At the top of Jacob's ladder is supposed to be, Jesus' office. If you climb up that ladder and knock on Jesus' door, he gonna open it and say, "Yay, what's up?" It's like his office hours. You know, Jesus' office hours is at the top of Jacob's ladder. And sometimes things do get out of hand. And he will open that door himself and get on that ladder and come on down spiritually. He will come down and be like, "What the hell is going on down here? Why y'all act like y'all don't got no sense? You know what I told you to do." Now I was able to come down here, handle my business. Why you acting special? Jesus don't be playing. Remember, he was, according to the Bible, he was in the flesh like us. His flesh wasn't exactly like our flesh, so to speak. It had a different little bit of different spin to it. But at the end of the day, he know what fleshy matters encounter. He know what we go through. So he know when we out of pocket and just tripping. He kind of hood, y'all. I'm just saying. I mean, I know we look at the royalty side. Oh, he's the king of kings and he's royalty and he was so humble and he was without sin and all that. But he'll still fuck you up. Even with all that goodness about Jesus, he will fuck your shit up. Don't get it twisted. It's us that romanticize it because we want to think our husbands are or our wives are so sweet and innocent. Like that's the only thing. Sweet and innocent is cool, but hell, you got to be able to deal with that other side. And dealing with that other side do not mean throwing it in the trash. It don't mean abandoning it. Learn how to deal with the good and evil of a person from day one, or just leave them alone. So if people wonder, well, how you put up with this? How you put up with that? I would have never had no woman living in my house. I would have never allowed this to happen. I would have never allowed this and that's okay, well, that's you. I care about a person's soul, the good and the bad. I believe in a whole person. And I know when people cross my path, they are an assignment. And they may come with a lot of dirty ways, dirty thoughts, bad intentions. But not only, if they were that bad, they wouldn't be in my world at all. Even my exes, I get on here talking about, what they did that was bad and, and slamming their home records and all that. That's kind of fun for me. I'm competitive. I've been an athlete, you know what I'm saying? And you know, I ain't scared of a little dirt. I ain't scared of a little fight. I'm feisty, you know. So I ain't scared of no evil. I'm not. But that don't mean I have to, you know, enjoy it to the point where I act like there's no good in me. I'm not gonna do that either. I gotta stay balanced. I'm not gonna let the image of good overtake me, and I'm not gonna let the image of bad overtake me either. Both are destructive. They almost interchangeable at times. There's a thin line between good and evil. It's one tree, like twins. Just like we have a left and right eye, a left and right lung in our system. Even our heart is kind of divided into two chambers, at least the way we draw it on, pictures and stuff. I get my point. So again, we live a world of duality. Good and evil is from the same tree. You cannot separate good from evil. You cannot. If you separate good from evil, it's like prying away identical twins, forcing identical twins to not be together. Oh, like the color purple. They weren't like twins because they were born at the same time. But like Celie and her sister, Maddie, was it Maddie or Natty or something? You know how when Mister was trying to kick Natty out and the girls were crying and holding on and nothing can separate us. Nothing can separate us. They was all dramatic and oh Lord. What I mean? That's what it's like when you're trying to separate good and evil as well. They're from the same tree. Why are we doing that to ourselves and to others? Reducing them to just one part of themselves. Or we don't want to be bothered with them at all. What? How is that fair? Not in my world, it's not fair. In my world, everything matters. In my world, good and bad has the same weight, carry the same weight. The only difference in our life is the tree of life. We got to climb Jacob's ladder. Don't miss a step. Drink from his well. Stay alive. Not only do you need natural water to stay alive, you need that spiritual water from Jacob's well. Keep climbing that ladder to get to the top. Don't miss a step. Your steps are ordered by the Lord. And people may think they good one day and bad the next. There's a thin line between good and bad. They're from the same tree. They can't be separated. The only thing that makes a difference in our life is the tree of life. That's it. That's it. So on your best day, you probably still evil. And on your worst day, you're probably still good. I'm just saying. It's weird like that. The tree of life, Jacob's ladder. That's the way to go. Keep looking that way, no matter what room you're in. If the light is on in your room or if the light is off, it's still the same room. When you enter a room, you touch the light switch. Usually the light switch is near the door. And you can either enter that room dark or you can flip that switch to light. The same room, same experience. One is done with the light on and one is done with the light off. Now, I don't know if anything I said just made sense or not. If it did, great. Be blessed. Please click like, subscribe to my channel. Today, Tuesday. Yeah. Tomorrow, hopefully, we'll get around to cuss me out, confess, vent on Wednesdays. But you got to pay to play. So, $1 a minute to open up the chat to let people just say whatever the hell they want. Some people like to argue and cuss people out and stuff. That's just how they are. You know what I mean? That's just how they are. I remember when I was growing up, it was a older couple, way older, retired kind of couple. They had to be at least, maybe like late 70s, 80s kind of thing. And he might have been older than her. You know how men marry real super young and then, they be like 90 and their wife be like 60 or something. But anyway, she would be sitting on the front porch and he always was in the garage in the back. And she be on that front porch just cussing him out all day long, seem like. And us kids just used to it. We just laugh. We be laughing at him. That was their relationship. I never heard him really say nothing back too much. But throughout the day, she knew he was back there and she just wanted to cuss him out, just be yelling. That was just her. That was their relationship. I mean, what do you do with it? You know? So some people just like to be messy, you know? But that man, he felt blessed. Either way, he ain't leaving. He just went out in the garage, doing his thing. Whatever men do in the garage, that's what he was doing, all quiet to himself. And she was on that front porch doing what people on the front porch do. And but she was talking her mess, and we all could hear it. All right, guys, you all be blessed, and hopefully I'll be on here every day. This is new to me, being on here live every day, just saying whatever, whatever Most High release out of my spirit, and support my channel if you feel that. I'm not a beggar, and I ain't no TD Jakes or nobody that's mega millions and all that, nothing like that. Just a little old woman on YouTube sharing a bunch of stuff. I'm not monetized. It's like I be trying to figure it out, but it's so complicated. I just said forget it. If the Lord want me to have something, He gonna give it to me. He'll figure it out for me. So I don't know, I just don't feel like this is something to be monetized for. Maybe that's to be honest. You know. And I know it's a lot of people on here and they getting big bank, I get that part. Um I don't know, maybe when I get enough subscribers, when I get enough views for real, I'll feel differently. But right now, I just, I'm good. I'm happy with what I'm doing. I am. So as long as I'm happy, hey, enjoy it for free. But on Wednesdays, I should get paid at least, a dollar or two to be cussed out. Why not? Go buy me a cigarillo or whatever. Okay, guys, love you. Bye. Oh, my Cash App is dollar sign Dr. Leisha the Preacher.